Hey everybody, it's Laura Kinghan of Sensory Solutions Inc. I'm doing this video as an accompaniment to my Facebook Live demo that I did on January 13th of 2021 on routines, got exercise. That video had a lot of sunlight and some space constrictions, so I want to do this again where you have just the routine that you can follow. And if you have any questions, you can PM me on Facebook. Or you can contact me through my cell at area code 631-848-8852. If you go over to Facebook onto my Sensory Solutions Inc. page, you will see the lineup of these exercises. You don't have to necessarily do them all in order, but the idea of why I put this program together was really for range of motion and flexibility to try to work the different joints of the upper and lower extremities. Do this at your own pace, at your own responsibility, however you want to, tune into your body. Let it be a mindful exercise for you where you can tune in and let your body be the guide. So everybody is different. There's no way I can say you have to do this every day, 5 times a day for 30 minutes or whatever prescription. Let your body be the guide. Just be safe, okay? And have fun with it. So let's go ahead and go on. So find a good space where there's enough clearance. And so for me, I'm gonna turn at a little bit of an angle because this is between filming and everything in my environment, it's tight. So make sure that you feel safe and comfortable with what you're doing here. Because if your body feels like, oh, I can't move too far because it's gonna hit something, then it's gonna be constrictive. So make sure you have sufficient space to be able to move. The first thing is Tadasana. This is the mountain pose. So, feet shoulder width apart. Really work your feet in, and I apologize that you're unable to see my feet in the video. After a couple takes, this is the best that I feel like I can do for now. But wiggle your feet in. Make sure the 4 quadrants of your foot, so like your toes, the lateral and medial sides of your toes, and the medial and lateral sides of your heels, just play with that and let that sink in. Externally rotate your legs ever so slightly so that your calves, it's like you're pushing down and in with your calves at the same time, which then opens up your sacrum. And the more mindful you can be of this position alone, I am actively working my legs isometrically. They are working and they are firing. And I am kind of struggling between talking, lifting up, and having to remind myself to lift back down. So it's a lifting down, it's a kind of a pushing down, pushing in, tucking your pelvis into a more neutral position. Wiggle your shoulders, get it, it's to kind of roll your shoulders out is better. Your arms in a neutral position. Taking in a deep breath, in and out, slowly. And just tune in. Let your body listen, and you will hear what your body is saying. This may look like something very simple, but this actually can be quite profound, just doing this alone. Let's move along though. Let's do Namaste. A slight bow. Something a little odd for us Westerners, but there is this mechanism of surrender that comes with bow, that we know that there is something larger, forces beyond our control that we need to surrender to. For example, life and death. Those are forces beyond our control. So we are surrendering to the energy that is beyond our understanding, and asking for grace to help us with our practice. So from my heart to yours. Namaste. So, first off, let's just do some arm swings. Keep your feet planted firmly on the ground. Let your trunk rotate a little bit. And you can determine how long you want to do this. We can add an extra piece where you gently kind of tapping your body. You might hear that a little bit. I do want to thank my husband, Kinghan, for the musical accompaniment. Now, I'm going to work down my body like this. Gently. How well you can tell, I'm unsure about how my legs are weight shifting. So I'm getting some rotation. Then I'm going to work up my body. And this is just kind of a wake up kind of a thing. Be gentle with yourself. I'm going to do it to my head, but I'm going to be really careful. So much of what I would like to do with this is just be playful. So this is a dynamic movement as opposed to a static posture. Okay, let's do duck wings. To show you some modifications, you decide which you would like to do. You could do arm circles that are small. You could do arm circles that are big. Make sure you go both ways. I'm going to do duck wings. I'm going to put my hands kind of in my armpit. I'm going to describe it, and then I'll do it. Actually, I think it'd probably be better if I do it a little bit angle so you can see it better. While my feet are planted firmly down the ground, I'm working my legs solidly. I'm going to rotate my shoulders, so there will be a little movement at my elbows, maybe a little at my wrist. I'm going to coordinate my breathing with this, and I'm going to move my neck a little bit. So I'm going to breathe in and rotate my shoulders and breathe out. Finish up the movement. Watch the pelvic tilt. Keep your pelvis in neutral. I'm going to do like 5. Let's do some wrist circles. You can be creative in how you would like to do it. Switch direction. Make sure you switch directions. I'm kind of alternating back and forth. That's kind of how I'm feeling it. But that's just my choice for now. But what I want to do is get some movements in my wrist. So a lot of rotational movements. It's a very feminine movement. Anybody in the... This is just a little ode to the Dixie Chicks from Flagstaff, Arizona, who would do belly dancing. Really work those wrists, and if you do it slowly, you can really work a lot of that tissue. Now, I'm going to make an adjustment. I'm going to bring you all down to the ground here. Let's do some ankle circles. So you can do one leg and then the other one. I mean, it's up to you. I hear kind of like some creaking. But play with this. This is something you can do if you're stuck in bed. Just to work your ankles a little bit and your wrists. Just to get some movement. This can be a lot. And if you do it consciously, mindfully, go a little slower, you can really help work out some of the kinks. while I'm down here, I'm going to show you the plank pose. You can hold this as long as you'd like. This is a static posture. And for me, this moves into other things like maybe a downward dog, maybe child's pose. But it affords you an opportunity to kind of do some more stretching. I'm going to make an adjustment and bring you all back up. It's the best I can do for now in working with the technology. Now, let me make this a little bit better because I really do want you all to see my legs. There we go. Behind here is a counter. I'm gonna hold on to this counter. I want to do some leg lifts, but I want to show you some modifications with this. And actually, I'm going to take it a much bigger step farther than just leg lifts, which leg lifts in and of itself is a very linear kind of a movement. But I want to. And that's fine. And if you're comfortable with just doing leg lifts, like I'll show you at the beginning, that's your choice. But I want to take it a step farther and show you what else you can do with this. I'm going to call it animal walks. As I was preparing for this, it's like it naturally took me to where I wanted to kind of like really play and even dance. And because I do have musical accompaniment, I want to play a little bit more. So you can take this time. You want to watch this video over and over again to play with this and work with the music. So I don't know if you're seeing, I'm kind of fiddling around with my foot as I'm talking. It's like my foot wants to, it's kind of like wanting to really plant itself, which is good because this is the foot that I'm going to shift my weight onto. So that's the leg that's going to provide my stability. Now you can do this without the counter. But I know, I felt like I wanted to have the counter for me today. So one hand is on the counter. I'm going to take a deep breath in and out, shift my weight, and then we'll do the leg lifts. And segue into the animal walks. So breath in and out. Shift onto one leg. Kind of lift up and let your leg swing. So I'm getting some flexion and extension. And if I go slow, I can really stretch that out. Feel how it wants to stretch. Then I can get playful and add some abduction in. These are different planes of movement, so I'm bringing in some abduction. And I want to get faster now, and I want to bring in some rotation. My knee wants to bend. There we go. I have to be careful. If I go too fast, I might hurt my back. But if I'm kind of in the flow, my body's just wanting to get into it. You know, let's honor your body. Let your body be the teacher. And if you're home alone, does it matter if you look silly? Now, granted, I'm doing this live on, actually, this is not live, but I'm going to be posting this, you know, making this available for the world to see. So if I can do this, you guys can, right? Okay, I'm going to switch to the other side. So, the preparation is important, and this is part of mindfulness. See how I'm trying to fiddle with getting my feet really planted solid on the earth, on the ground. If we can spend more time doing that, it'd be really helpful. So deep breath in and out, and then weight shift, and then start the leg lifts. Flexion sensation. See, I want to dance now. And then if you want to like let go, you know, work the music. Let the music work you. Okay, now I'm getting a little exhibitionist. So we're really working the legs. And I can tell I'm breathing deeper. So there is some aerobic workout that goes along with that, depending on how far you want to take it. But if you're stuck in bed, you're lying on your bed, you can still do these kinds of things. Maybe lie on your side. So, let's bring it back down again. Plant your feet. Let's do Tadasana. The idea was to just keep this short, to just help get you up and moving, and to give an overall good workout. So, we'll do Tadasana in a little quiet time. So my feet are grounded, connecting in with the earth. My legs are slightly externally rotated, which brings my calves in just a little bit isometrically, opening up my sacrum. Turn to the side so you can see a little bit better. So go ahead and put a hand on your sacrum and a hand on your belly. And as though you had a pumpkin between your hands, just tune in. If you even need to play with your sacrum a little bit and play with your pelvic tilt, and then find the resting place without too much sag on either way, but find that middle place. And breathe. And let yourself take this time to just tune into what that space feels like between your two hands. And if you need to kind of do some little micro movements, get a little situated, maybe you have a little sciatic. I don't know how well you can see this, but just do little tiny bits of movement. Let your body just kind of settle. Let's take one good long deep breath in and out. And just stay there for a few moments, and then we'll finish up. Deep breath in and out. And then hands together. Namaste. From my heart to yours. I hope this is helpful to you. No live demo next week on January 20th, 2021. It's a United States presidential inauguration. Be back in 2 weeks. And we'll look at needs and values, and we'll redo this exercise program together. Some redundancy, because the thing about routines is doing them over again. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful. Thank you very much. Bye, everybody.